Welcome back to Backyard Wildlife Maine. This is the trail cam compilation for week ending 10/25/2025. In this first clip, we're at Bennett's blind, and we see what we believe is a long-tailed weasel. He looks to be in his winter coat of white with the black tip, although my father disputes this. The next series of clips are all taken behind Bog. It's of a doe and a large 10-point buck with a really beefy body. Unfortunately, the clips are all really short because the camera batteries were low at the time and we didn't know it. Unfortunately, with some Browning cameras, even if your camera batteries are around 85 or 80%, it will still believe that it's low battery. So ignore the constant flipping of all of these videos and enjoy this big, giant alpha buck as he sniffs around and shows us his impressive rack and his impressive body size, too. The doe is very interested in him. She comes about an hour and a half after he does, sniffs around the same areas that he did. She's clearly looking for a mate. At least that's my guess. All the deer that come to this particular area seem to focus on that white oak that the doe is at right now. And I'm not sure why. Maybe it's because everything brushes up against it as they walk by. Maybe it collects scent really well. The doe lingers here in front of the camera for quite some time. I got a lot more shots of her than I did the buck. You notice on the bottom of her belly, she looks like she's got a little bit of something sticking out. At first, I thought it was a hernia, and then I realized it was probably just the way her fur is bunched up, but you can see it again here. She moves all around, triggering the camera numerous times before eventually taking off. This is the buck blind site, and this is a doe and her fawn. They come through a couple of times. In a couple of clips from here, I want you to listen because you'll be able to hear the doe bleeding for her fawn. I have no idea what they're eating right there. There's literally nothing except for pine needles and some crappy grass, but maybe they thought it was appetizing. Here's the clip coming up. I love hearing animals make their own sounds. This is Rock Road, and this is the family of otters that we discovered. We are absolutely thrilled to see them. We thought there was only 3, but if you look at this video as they walk by, we don't know where they're going. I think they're heading up towards a little creek that's in that direction. There's them again heading back up at night. They must be coming back a different way. This is the scrape site that we put the cameras up at after finding a massive swath of saplings that were just completely destroyed by some buck very recently, hoping to catch him. We didn't actually catch any bucks on camera except for 2 the previous week, and they were very brief clips, really bad shots because the deer had gotten out of range by the time the camera actually triggered. This is a Tacticam reveal, and we really love it because it tells us when it sees things. The only deer that showed up at the site all week long was this doe. The rest of the week, it was all possums, and I actually did omit those clips because they were really kind of crappy. I think the same doe appears in the next video, which was taken at the Bean Rows, the same place where I got all the gorgeous buck video from last week. And you'll see her as she appears. It's very, very misty. It's at 12:28 a.m. She has a bean vine sticking out of her mouth. You can barely see her because the camera lens is all moist from the mist. And then she travels down the bean row, and I actually catch her again on camera at the cemetery where we had a holiday camera set up. This is the road. This is the connecting point from the blue tarp to the wood yard, and the deer just seem to always travel this way. So we always get really good video of them, and we have it set up in a different position so that we have a better view of them. This one's a little high, and I have adjusted it. This is called The Tree. We've been getting fewer and fewer videos at this site. This is a little, I think, 4-point buck with a real tall antelope-like rack that we saw here. And this, unfortunately, is the very last video of the week. Very, very low turnout, but thrilled to have the otters.